Hi, welcome to the UB Library's Zotero video series. This is the first video in the series, Setting Up Zotero. My name is Allie Wood, and I'm one of the engineering librarians here at UB. Zotero is a free open-source citation management tool that helps researchers collect and organize their research materials and also generates in-text citations and bibliographies during the writing process. This video will cover downloading Zotero and creating a Zotero account. There are a few websites that will be helpful to have open before we get started. The first is the library's Zotero Basics Guide, which walks you through many of the topics that I will cover in these videos. And the second is Zotero.org, which is where we will download Zotero and create our free Zotero account. So first up is installing Zotero. To download Zotero, we will visit Zotero.org. And once there, we will download two components, the desktop app and the browser connector. The desktop app is compatible with Mac OS, Windows, Linux, and iOS. The browser connector, which will allow us to easily add items to our Zotero library, works with Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and Safari. If you're using Safari, the browser connector is actually bundled with the desktop app, so you won't have a second thing to download. I do recommend using a different browser if possible, just because Safari can be a bit buggy, but it ultimately should still work for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and open Firefox. So this is the library homepage. The URL is just library.buffalo.edu. And to open up the research guide, I'm going to go to Research and Learn, Research Guides, and scroll down to our Research and Publishing tab, open that up, and the Zotero Basics Guide is the last one listed here. So like I said, this guide is going to go over a lot of the topics I'll cover in these videos, but it's definitely a helpful resource to use afterwards if you have additional questions. Now let's go to Zotero.org, and this is where we will download our two components, the desktop app and the browser connector. So I'm going to click this big red download button right here. These are the two things we'll need to download. Zotero is recognizing that I'm working on a Windows computer and that I'm using a Firefox browser, but if I click these down arrows here, I can see all the other operating systems and browsers that they will work with. So I'll want to go ahead and download both of these. Mine are already downloaded, so I'm not going to click them. But once you have the Zotero connector, you should look to see if it's in your extensions. On Firefox, that's this little puzzle piece up here. Can open that up, go to Manage Extensions, and see that I do have the Zotero connector. You can also take a look in the upper right-hand corner where I've got this little red Z. This is the Zotero connector as well. It is looking like a red Z on this web page, but if I open up a different one, we can see it changed what it looks like. The browser connector will try to identify what type of website you're on and will change the icon accordingly. Okay. So let's go back to our presentation. So after you've got Zotero installed, it is time to make your Zotero account. So an account is necessary to sync your Zotero library across computers. So if you don't have one, all of your Zotero content will be restricted to one computer. You also need an account to create group libraries, which is another feature of Zotero that I will cover in a different video. So to make an account, we're going to go back to Zotero.org and register. And then we'll open up that desktop app that we just downloaded and set up syncing and discuss sync settings. So we'll go back to Zotero.org. Oops. I am already logged in, so let me go ahead and log out. So if you're on the Zotero homepage, you're going to come up here to this login button and come to register for a free account. Click on that. Mine is auto-populating because I already have an account. But this is where you'll put in your information here. You can use your UB email if you would like to. You just might need to consider if you will lose access to that email at some point, then you might want to use your personal email. You can always change your email later on in settings if you would like to. You would just have to remember to do that. So once you fill in that information, you'll have your account. You can go ahead and log into Zotero. And the first thing you'll see is your web library. You'll see in just a few seconds when I open my desktop app, that the web library and the desktop app look very similar, but best practice is to do most of your work with the desktop app. It has a few more functions, works a little bit more stable, I think, than the web library, but the web library is a good option to have if you need to access Zotero information when you're not on a computer with the Zotero desktop app downloaded. You can also come over here to your name up top, my profile, and this is where you can make different decisions regarding your account. But to set up syncing, we're next going to open our Zotero desktop app. I'm going to go ahead and open that down here. And in a different video, I'll go over basically what we're looking at here, but in this one, we're just going to set up syncing. So next step is to click this edit up at the top, click on settings, and where it says sync over here, click on that, make sure it's highlighted. And then in this area, you can input the information for that account you just made and click sync. Once you have your account syncing, whichever computer you're on that has your desktop app downloaded, if you sign in with that account, all of your Zotero information will populate. So if you have a work computer and a home computer, have Zotero desktop app on both of those and sync them, the information will be the same on both libraries. Now below this are some sync options. So like I said before, Zotero is a free tool, but it does have limited cloud storage for full text attachments. So the citation data cloud storage is unlimited, so like your metadata, tags, that sort of thing, that's unlimited. But storage for the attachments, your full text attachments, will eventually run out. Storage for items saved on your hard drive is also limited just by your computer storage situation. If you are worried about running out of storage space for those full text attachments, or if you're close to running out of space, you can uncheck this sync full text content option, and then you will no longer be syncing those full text attachments across your different computers. I keep mine checked on because I haven't reached that point yet, but that's a choice for you to make. Okay. So that's it for this video. There are several more in this series where we'll talk about different aspects of your Zotero library and finding items. Please reach out to me if you have any additional questions. My contact information is there on the screen. And again, feel free to check out the Zotero Basics Guide. Thank you.